Hi, welcome to your checkup. We are the patient education podcast where we bring conversations from the doctor's office to your ears. On this podcast, we try to bring medicine closer to its patients. I'm Ed Dulesky, a family medicine doctor in the Philadelphia area.
And I'm Nicole Rufo. I'm a nurse.
And we are so excited you were able to join us here again today. So your shtick this week is with new home builds and the shrinkflation that goes on with them. You were really passionate about this on our little date here.
It'll actually send me into a rage. Let's talk about it.
Let's pull the ripcord. Yeah. So what do you see? You know, like we're daydreaming. We're
like peripherally looking for houses.
Very peripherally.
Yeah. Just kind of like seeing what's out there.
Seeing what we like. Where that would be. Turns out the things that we like are really expensive, but whatever. Anyway, so what they're doing these days with these new builds, not that we necessarily like want a new build in particular, but just like and look, because as we look, you know. I mean, our friend recently like had a new build. So it's part of the conversation.
Yeah. So you're looking at them and they're, beautiful on the outside and all the pictures are beautiful and everything's new. Granted, probably not the best quality stuff, but it looks nice. But then you get to the kitchen and like the angle of the picture at first looks like this big, great, like bright, open, wide, huge kitchen. But then when you actually look at it, the cabinets and the counters are so narrow. Like you couldn't fit like an appliance on that counter or have any sort of like cooking or prep room. Can't fit. Where are you putting like your bowls? You can't fit them in those narrow cabinets.
No. Something totally taken for granted.
It's insane.
But like they somehow made it happen. That like you're going to have.
It actually pisses me off. Like this one house in particular was like $800,000 and for like 6 inches of counter space. Like, what are you doing?
That was crazy.
And like someone's going to buy that house and probably spend over that much money.
No, it's like you can't put anything there. And like now that I'm doing more cooking, I realize like how important counter space is.
Yeah, and we really don't have a lot of counter space in this house.
But like this is, I mean, you need places. Like it's stuff you take for granted. You're like, yeah, I'm going to have like plenty of places to put bowls and like coffee cups, which this is a good point. Like, I don't know why one person needs like 15 different coffee mugs because like, I don't know, we use the same two. If it's an occasion, like maybe we'll reach for a special Rowan mug, if you will, maybe a Cooper mug, if you will. But, for the med school, that is. But that's a good point. Why do people need like a billion coffee mugs?
Well, some people are like into it.
I do love
having different ones.
I love a coffee mug.
I'm not.
I know you aren't, but like I got that like nice Rowan one I like every once in a while. But back on theme, everything is thinner and smaller. It is annoying.
It's so annoying.
But, if they do have a layout that's like big open kitchen leading into an entertaining area, that would be great. Because as it's currently constructed, like something I notice is like if one of us is in the kitchen doing something, the other person's on the couch. And then there's like no way to have that like communication. Or if you're entertaining, it is like strictly like there is kitchen where everyone always is at all times. And you like never get people on the couch, even if it's the coziest place to be.
Yeah. Well, one day we'll find a house.
Yeah, one day. It would be cool. That would be fun.
Counter space.
Counter space and open kitchen concept. Well, this like first time home buyer podcast has been really helpful. Like, as like very, very, very early preparation. So that's cool. Yeah, but thanks for sharing your thoughts on that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, you got really excited about that. I was like, we got to talk about this. Pull the ripcord. So what did we watch this week?
What did we watch this week?
Well, we finished up The Summer I Turned Pretty.
We finished The Summer I Turned Pretty, which now they're making a movie.
Same characters?
Yeah, I think because in the books, I don't think the whole Paris thing was in the books, but there was a wedding with Belly and Conrad.
Oh.
In the books, I think. So I think the movie's going to be like that, I'm assuming.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. This girl she's got problems.
Oh my God, she's so hateable. She has to be like a phenomenal actress because people just collectively don't like her.
No, I think she is. No, she's doing a great job.
Lola
Tongue, right?
You know she's naturally a redhead.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And like that last scene where they like went back to the summer house and it was like a year later or whatever, and her hair was kind of like, her hair like wasn't as dark. It was pulled back so you couldn't really tell, but that was her like natural hair.
Oh, that was the natural hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. No, I didn't pick up on that. No, I came on this journey much later and now it's over. So.
And then we watched The Girlfriend.
We did watch The Girlfriend. That woman from Game of Thrones. Oh God, what's her name? Olivia. Let's see. What was your take on The Girlfriend?
I liked it. You didn't. It was a little bit. I think that was also a book, actually.
No, I don't think I liked it as much. I was entertained. I sat there.
It's like twisty books I read.
Yeah, I didn't love it as much as I was hoping, but it happened, and we watched it. It was a quick ditty. It was
like 6 episodes.
6 episodes, but each was like a healthy hour compared to like probably like what 8 40-minute episodes, which they could have done. But it happened. We watched it. Obviously back on football season, which is fun. Have not been able to sit down for a long, continuous period of time and watch football 3 weeks in. But such is life. Got a lot going on. Got things to do. And what else? Now the banter sections have been light. Has it been working too much? Have I made you food this week, or there was a little food I made?
Oh yeah, you made crab cavatelli the other day. That was delicious. That was a special request.
Oh my God, this fantasy draft is a live call that they update manually. It's like not through the draft.
Shut the hell up.
So I'm in a fantasy dynasty basketball league, which is fun. I appreciate the invitation for the camaraderie. And it's all new, but it's in depth. And Karthik used to be in this. Mike is in it. For all of you listeners out there who know Mike.
Wait, they're doing it manually?
It's a manual call at 7 p.m. It was at 6.
Is this going to be like 3 hours? We have rotting to do tonight.
I think I think they update the Excel sheet, though. I would double check. Oh my gosh, it's
an Excel sheet.
This is way more.
Is this like 1972?
Involved than I thought it was going to be. No, it's amazing. Like the camaraderie that happens, and they're so into it, and I'm honored to be in there. Yeah, we went to a Top Golf to use their conference room and not actually go to Top Golf. That totally happened.
Actually, so funny.
It was hilarious. I'm so happy it happened. But oh man, I am wildly unprepared for this. But I've been a part of a couple big trades that have
it's a live call.
Shook the league.
Are you guys gonna have a conference call too?
Yeah, it's a Google Meet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that for sure is happening. But I kind of thought I could like anonymously sit on the couch while we're like rotting and make that happen.
Well, we're still rotting.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have the laptop in front of me and my little square in the thing and just headphones. Headphones might be good.
Yeah, I'm not listening to that. No, thank you.
No, I don't blame you. Wow. Oh, this is news. We're 9 minutes in. All right. Well, I think that was enough excitement with some live update and take. Well, let's dive in, shall we?
We shall.
What are we going to talk about today, Nick?
Today we're talking about colon cancer screening.
Yeah, turns out this is something I talk about every single day and is something wildly important, as most of our episodes are, for the majority of adult health and some peds health too. But this one, I need an episode to be able to refer to because it's a big conversation, and it's I think it deserves a little bit more than just hey, you're due for a colon cancer screening, so here we go. So colon cancer is one of the most common cancers, and unfortunately, it's the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States. And so I'll say this in plain English, screening saves lives by catching the cancer early and helps us even prevent it a little bit. And so today we're going to talk about who needs screening, what tests are out there, what to expect, and how to choose the right one. But I really think we can't go further without this little anecdote that I had from one of my third years of med school. And one of the biggest reasons that I chose to go into primary care. And we were rounding, and we get to this guy in the hospital, and he's grade 3, maybe grade 4 colon cancer. And it was a new diagnosis that was being delivered. And all I can remember is this grown man weeping, wishing that he had more time with his family, not knowing what the treatment options were, et cetera, et cetera. And all I could help think, this guy was in his 60s, I think. All I could help think was, wow, maybe all of this could have been prevented. And that stuck with me. And I couldn't get off of that throughout the rest of med school. And then I decided to go into primary care to have these exact conversations day in and day out because they are so incredibly important. So, Nick, let's get started. We'll go through the outline here. And why don't we dive in? Who should get screened?
Most adults starting at age 45, even if you are healthy.
Yeah, so that comes up a little bit if you have a family history. If there are certain genetics that impact you, they may put you at higher risk, and so you may start earlier. So you should talk to your own doctor if you have a family history, because that may change the date that you should get screened. There are certain genetic syndromes that make people have to get colon cancer screening early. But like you said, the vast majority of people need to start at age 45, which is up from age 50, where it used to be. Mm-hmm. So I do happen to see a lot of 45-year-olds or even 44 who are like, oh, wait, really? I'm due for this now? And they're a little surprised. But 45 is the age. So this continues until age 75, most usually. And it's not like a hard stop at 75. After that, it's a conversation. It depends on your health, depends on your preferences. I mean, age is but a number. So you can have a 75-year-old who plans on living 30, 35 more years. Or you have someone who's not so lucky. So after 75, it's a conversation.
What are the different types of screening tests you do?
Yeah, so this is where the money is. There are two main categories of screening tests. There are stool-based tests and direct visualization tests. So we'll go through both categories. A stool-based test tend to be at home and non-invasive, but each has their trade-off. So the first one is the FIT test, and this checks the stool for hidden blood. This one is done once a year. One pro of it is that there's no prep. The prep is the thing that has to be done to prepare for the colonoscopy. And so the prep is the solution that you drink to prepare for the colonoscopy and often makes you go to the bathroom a lot because you have to clean out your entire colon to make sure that they are able to see. So in this case, stool-based test, oftentimes you don't have to do the prep. If the FIT test is positive, you still have to do the colonoscopy. Then there's the Guaiac fecal occult blood test, or GFOBT, which also checks for blood. But this one has some diet and medication restrictions and is less commonly used. It's also once a year, but it's less sensitive. And then comes the one that you probably see advertisements for all of the time, which is the stool DNA test, which is the Cologuard. This one looks for blood and for DNA changes and can be done one from every 1 to 3 years. This one's more sensitive to the tune of about 92%, but also causes more false positives. So there's a little bit to talk about here. In the law of big numbers, 92 out of 100, you're going to miss 8 out of 100 colon cancers when you screen in this way. And this test being more sensitive than the FIT test means it's going to pick up more. But it also might pick up more that isn't important. And that's the false positive. So when you have a false positive with this, maybe a Cologuard, you're going to get that result. and then you're going to have to go do a colonoscopy to maybe learn that you're good or that there's something there that needs to be addressed. And so this is part of the conversation that I end up having a lot of the time because 92 out of 100, pretty good, but not perfect, is what it picks up. And then there's the chance for false positives, which can be anxiety provoking. We've talked about like getting test results and having to follow up those test results and imaging stuff before. So this is all things that you have to think about when you're choosing which one you're going to do. Like, yeah, it's convenient, but it's not perfect. So what do you expect from these tests? What you're going to do is you're going to collect a sample at home and then you mail it in. That's it. So it is pretty easy. And for people who think like, I am absolutely not going to do the colonoscopy, I am absolutely not going to do the prep, or if you're lying to yourself saying, yeah, I'm going to do it. And year 1 goes by, year 2 goes by, 45, 46, 47. All of a sudden you're 65 and you haven't done colon cancer screening. Maybe it's time to think about one of the stool-based tests, if it's reasonable for you and you've talked to your doctor about it. So yeah, you collect the sample at home, you mail it in, there's no prep, and if it's positive, you bet you still bought yourself a colonoscopy.
Okay, we did the stool-based test. What are the direct visualization tests?
Yeah, so far most common one of the direct visualization is the colonoscopy. This is the gold standard. This is the one you should go for. This is the one you should get. But of course, people don't always do it. So the colonoscopy is when a small, very small camera looks at the entire colon. And yes, they have to get to the colon somehow. So yeah, they're going in from behind. But it looks at the entire colon and they can see things. But what's also important is they can take care of stuff. So they can remove polyps and take samples of tissue if they see it. So that's the huge benefit. It's the gold standard. It's exceedingly rare to miss anything. And if they do see anything, they can just take care of it. If you get the clean bill of health and they call it normal, you might not have to do this again for another 10 years. If it's anything a little less than normal, they may be more conservative and call you back sooner. But that's it. It does require the bowel prep, which, to say it again, is drinking a large amount of solution, and that requires you to go to the bathroom a lot. And this is usually the sticking point for people. They're like, oh my God, the prep. I can't believe I have to do the prep.
Yeah, people do say that a lot.
And
but like, what's worse, getting colon cancer or like pooping a lot for one night?
it's true. We're a poop forward household.
We are.
So it might be fun. We're not close to doing colon cancer screening, which is fun. We're so skinny and young, but I don't know. I would think that, like, yeah, you should do this. And if you
can handle having diarrhea for one night.
Thank you. Right. It seems like a mildly.
Yeah, it sucks. Your stomach probably hurts. Neither of us have ever had colonoscopy, so I guess we really can't speak to that part.
Sure.
But like, do you want to deal with one night of being uncomfortable and running to the bathroom, or how many weeks of cancer treatment, surgery, maybe dying?
Yeah.
You know?
So I have met one guy who, because there's always a certain ambivalence when it comes to the colonoscopy. And then my style is to try to find out why more of like, why haven't you gone to go get the colonoscopy? Mm-hmm. And there is one story that I remember vividly of this guy who, like, you know, there's always a good reason. You can't go dunk on someone and be like, why haven't you gotten your colonoscopy? Like, he had a great reason. Like, his son had special needs.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And you remember this one? And like, he had special needs, and his shtick, his thing was like being close to the bathroom, the son. And like, he loved the bathroom. And in their house, with what they were able to have, like, they had one bathroom. And so the guy was like, well, I'm the sole caretaker of my son, who's literally always in the bathroom, and I can't get to the bathroom overnight when I would need to do this. So yeah, that's a great reason. And like, we're being like a little harsh, I guess. We're like, please get, like, for the average person with like the ability and the capability to do it, like, just do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also recognize that like it doesn't work for everyone. There are really good reasons out there. So that was just one that like I really remember. So you can't go dunking on people, but
Well, sometimes you can.
sometimes you can. In like a lot of cases you can. So yeah, there's a little bit of shame is not a bad thing. Is all I'm really trying to say.
Bring back shame.
Bring back a little bit of shame. So with that, there's a little bit of sedation as well in the procedure, and there's a slight risk to that as well. The colonoscopy is not completely without risk if we're going to be fair and balanced. You're going to be startled when we tell you how often people get colon cancer later in the episode, but the risks of a colonoscopy include a small chance of bleeding, which is often reported about 1 in 1,000. Maybe a gastroenterologist is going to come after me. I don't know. And a small risk of perforation, about 1 in 3,000. So that's what we're dealing with here. And then a small possible reactions to sedation, which are usually very commonly used, easily accessible medications. So the colonoscopy, that is direct visualization, essentially. There are other ones. There's a sigmoidoscopy. It's basically a colonoscopy light. It looks at the lower parts of the colon. It may be done every 5 to 10 years. They could be done in like a little bit less intensive venues. And sometimes they're paired with FIT tests. They are a little less invasive, but can miss things higher up. And then there's the CT colonography. There's a reason for everything. There's a lid for every pot. This happens to be a CT scan. It can be done every 5 years. It still needs the prep. So you're not getting out of that with this one. It doesn't require sedation, but leads to a radiation exposure. And the kicker, if it's abnormal, you still need a colonoscopy. So all roads lead to the colonoscopy. So why not start there if you can? That's what I'm thinking. So what do you expect out of these tests? You need the prep to clean the colon, the sedation for the colonoscopy, and someone probably has to drive you home. Mm-hmm. You're going to be a little loopy. All right. So we talked about those. Nick, I guess I didn't realize how passionately I feel about this topic, so I'm talking a lot in this one. Can you take us to the benefits of screening? And like, why is this so important? What can people, like, what are we trying to do here? What does it do?
So screening cuts the risk of dying from colon cancer by up to 26%.
I mean,
which is a lot.
Do you need more? But tell us more.
It can also just prevent cancer from removing any polyps that are in there before they turn into something more dangerous.
There you go. Being proactive.
And if we're detecting cancer early, that's kind of like the best time to start treatment, because the treatment will work best if something is caught earlier rather than later.
Yeah, it's just like easier all around for...
It's a smaller monster to deal with.
Like for the oncologist or the surgeon to deal with, like it's like less dramatic if we just know earlier, and like it's less like a part of your life. So there are some really key numbers that I want to share because I really want to make this real for people. And so buckle up, because this is about to get kind of scary. Some of the best data that we have suggests that 1 in 23 men and 1 in 25 women will get colorectal cancer in their lifetime. I guarantee anyone listening here knows 23 and 25 people. So just let that settle in. What's more problematic maybe is for things now that are pretty accessible with a lot of options for different people. I know we were ragging on people about the colonoscopy, but there are a lot of different options. Screening rates are only around 69% of eligible adults. So that's 69% of adults are up to date on their colon cancer screening. So that is a lot. And part of this might be because of this not so recent, but like awareness isn't so high, moving of the age from 50 to 45. But this is because they found that starting at age 45 saves more lives than waiting until 50.
That makes sense. I keep seeing online, which just is simply from like what I've been served on social media, and I have no like legitimate backup to this. Mm-hmm. I just keep like when you're doom scrolling, all these like 30-ish-year-olds that are like, I kept having diarrhea. LOL, I actually had colon cancer. Is there any like actual legitimate numbers of like younger people who are getting colon cancer. You can also cut this if I'm spreading misinformation. Would hate to be doing that.
Well, I mean, part of the, let's see. So there is some evidence. There was a review in JAMA published in maybe 2025, and they described that among those younger than age 40 in the United States, the annual incidence rate of colon cancer was from 4.1 to 5.5 per 100,000 people between the years 2013 to 2022. And so that was an increase of 3.4%. And I think you bring up, when you say this, you bring up an important piece in that screening is in someone who has no symptoms, has no concern for disease, and is going to get this test anyway. But you mentioned like important things, like when someone's on TikTok and they're talking about their experience, they had some sort of symptom. And so that symptom was addressed with like a proper evaluation, I guess. And a lot of times you end up like, if you were to look up any gastrointestinal system, like symptom, like it silos down into the colonoscopy or endoscopy is like the ultimate part of the evaluation. To where
Sounds like you need a colonoscopy based on your daily reports, since we're a poop forward family.
It changes every day. It changes. So that's what that's my 2 cents on that. Like, yeah, I think certain salient stories online can be a little bit sensationalized because, like, I mean, they're personal. It's a big deal. You're young, you're not expecting it, and bang, you're like slapped with the colon cancer diagnosis. I do still think it's rare. There was a move to obviously bring the age down from 50 to 45, which was huge. But, you shouldn't linger in symptoms that you're having that are like gastrointestinal related at home without an evaluation. Like, if you need to get checked out, you need to get checked out. And if it requires a colonoscopy for diagnostic purposes rather than screening, then so be it. I mean, it's your health we're talking about.
For all the doom scrollers out there.
For all the doom scrollers. So the next part is how to choose the right test. And this goes along with my shtick of like the best test is the one you'll actually complete. So I really have no problem calling someone out and being like, hey, this colonoscopy was ordered 4 years ago. Are you actually going to get it? And then the dude's like, because it's always a guy. It's like, nah. So then we talk about alternatives, of which we discussed today. You should talk to your doctor about the risk and certain preferences if you have them. Family history counts here, guys. So you should ask your family. That's something that comes up a lot. I ask about different family histories a lot, ones that impact people and would impact their own screening. And sometimes they don't know and they don't talk about it. So ask your family. And really, this is the most important part. Please, for the love of God, just go get screened. That's really all we really want. And that's it. That's the episode for today. So thank you for coming back to another episode of Your Checkup. Hopefully you learned something for yourself, a loved one, or
a neighbor who needs a colonoscopy.
Check out our website. You can send us an email, yourcheckuppod@gmail.com. You can send us fan mail, but that's like a one-directional thing, which we would love to hear, but we can't answer back. Find us on Instagram or Threads, which we're like kind of active on, but I'm a busy boy now, so I'm not online all day.
Someone goes to work now.
Someone has to go to work now. But check out our old episodes or just come back and visit us next week. So until then, stay healthy, my friends. Until next time, I'm Ed Dulesky.
I'm Nicole Rufo.
Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
This information may provide a brief overview of diagnosis, treatment, and medications. It's not exhaustive and is a tool to help you understand potential options about your health. It doesn't cover all details about conditions, treatments, or medications for a specific person. This is not medical advice or an attempt to substitute medical advice. You should contact a healthcare provider for personalized guidance based on your unique circumstances. We explicitly disclaim any liability relating to the information given or its use. This content doesn't endorse any treatments or medications for a specific patient. Always talk to your healthcare provider for a complete information tailored to you. In short, I'm not your doctor.
I am not your nurse.
And make sure you go get your own checkup with your own personal doctor.